reasons. A lot of teachers go into because not because they have passion for it, but because they just want to make ends meet. Now, if you want to be best at what you do, whether teaching or whatever, love what you are doing.
Welcome to the platform. My name remains Oluwaloche Ifemeda Silva, and with me on today's program is
I'm Adenaike Ukoje, a wife, a mother, and a teacher, and also a school owner. I run a school called Goodly Heritage Kiddies Center, Kwara State, Ilorin. A school where if you enroll your children or your child, except you are looking for what is not missing, you have all there is to nurture your children, both academically, spiritually, and academically, to whatever height they wish to get to in life.
All right. How long have you been in this business of school managing?
Okay, school managing. I've been in it for 8 years now, but I've been a teacher since '89.
There's this development that parents don't any longer allow teachers to beat their children or correct them, spanking them. How do you manage that environment?
Well, you won't blame parents for not wanting schools or teachers or whatever to spank their children. The reason I said that is because some people, when you give them the leverage to flog or to help to correct the children, they go overboard. That's where you see a teacher beating a child on the head, on the back, and all of that. Fine, I'm of the old school age where children should be corrected, not necessarily through spanking. But if they must be spanked, in the school we don't allow flogging, we don't allow teachers to flog, though some still do it sometimes, because I get to hear parents reporting that someone beat me and beat my son and all of that. The rule here is I alone do whatever flogging that needs to be done, because every child should be given age appropriate punishments, whether it's flogging. If I want to flog a child, what I just do is flog the hand or the back of the leg with my hands, not with cane. So that's how we handle it here. And the children, to a large extent, when they do some things at home or they refuse to do their homework, and you tell them, Mrs. I'm going to report you to Mrs. Adenaike, the next thing you see the child doing whatever the parents tells them to do, not because I flog them so much, but because they know that this correction or flogging is born out of love for them. Because after flogging them, you see me still hugging and playing with them and all of those stuff. So
okay, there is this Montessori system of schooling. How do you compare it with the traditional system?
Well, Montessori, if we are to do the Montessori, I know the little I know. I didn't really read so much about it, because the little I read about it, it can be practiced in Nigeria. Because the Montessori, as in the Montessori method of teaching, allows the child to learn at their own pace. Yes, that's what we do here. But the day the child decides that today, I don't think I want to learn anything, according to Montessori method of teaching, you should leave that child. What if the child decides the whole term that he or she is not going to learn? Should you leave the child? Why is the parent paying? Why is the parent sending the child to school? The parent's money is being wasted, that child's time is being wasted. So, but what we do, our method of teaching here is so fun, as in learning is fun for every child that comes here. Now what we do, we teach every child at their own pace. The day the child decides not to learn, you make the child see reasons why he or she needs to learn. Then you may not even, a 2-year-old child, there's no amount of reasoning you try to give that child that the child will decide that, okay, I want to learn. What I do most times is to play with the child, what is it called, to try to tickle the child, to try to sing for the child and all of that. And if that child still doesn't want to learn, I go ahead to call the parents. Why? What's wrong? Your child is giving us this kind of attitude. What happened? What transpired between you and the child and all of that? Parents, whatever the parent tells me, gives me, okay, the parent might say, okay, he was running temperature when he woke up this morning and all of that. If a child is sick, I don't think you can, there's anything you teach that child that will enter. So to a large extent, we allow the child maybe to go and sleep based on the fact that he or she was given a drug. Maybe the child is feeling dizzy or that stuff. But apart from that, if the parent says, oh, nothing happened to the child, I don't know, maybe just trying to be moody. You know, children can be funny at times. That's when I'll be like, do you want me to flog you or something? We try our best to make sure that the child comes out of his or her shell to at least make the maximum use of that day's time, learning. That's what I do. So we don't practice that Montessori. And Montessori also has to do with maybe the size of the classroom, has to do with the little I read about it, using visual aids. Yes, we use visual aids here. We make sure they have some we make sure they have teaching aids, not necessarily audiovisual. It may be something they can handle and things like that will enhance their learning and make them enjoy learning for that day and other times.
All right. The economy is funny for now, and it will definitely affect the attitude of parents towards payment of school fees and buying of items for their children. So how do you cope with this?
Buying of items, do you mean like books and all of that? Now, I don't allow parents to buy books and all of that. We give them books from school after the parents must have paid. Now, the reason is, if you give them the option of, okay, this is, go and buy books, as in the option of giving them list of books, most parents will not buy half of the book. Or they may just buy exercise book for the child. Well, that's what I have, that's how much I have to spend on books and all of that for this. And you know the economy is bad. No, we don't do that. What we do is, at the beginning of the term, at the session, they pay for the books, all the stationery, the pencils, textbooks and all of that. And we give them to every child that has paid. Now, I don't think there is any child that doesn't have the textbook. We collect money from them, as in they pay for the stationery at the beginning of the term and we give them the book. So all glory be to God, parents have been responding positively in that respect. So
okay, I presume your school is registered with the state government?
Yes, it's registered.
Okay. So how do you manage your relationship with the education authorities?
Well, I don't know. I've never had any cause of anyone coming to harass me on any ground because I've registered. Well, I am a part of the National Association of Proprietors of Private Schools in Ilorin. Well, I think since the beginning of this year, I've not been able to attend meeting as I should because of some little hitch here and there. But I'm a member of National Association of Private Schools, and whatever needs to be passed across to us, whether any information that needs to be passed across, it's being passed across to us in the association, and we do our bits as what is expected of us.
Okay. There is this ugly incident that happened at a school in Lagos recently.
Okay.
Schools went on excursion outside the country, and other things followed. Do you think the government should encourage schools having excursions beyond the shores of the country? And people are blaming teachers and the school management for not paying adequate attention. What is your conclusion from the event?
One, I don't think I don't know, because when I was teaching in a school in Benin, they used to go to London for excursion. Well, not for excursion, vacation. They go to Togo. Some sets go to London, those ones that can afford it. Some sets go to Togo. And we never heard of any ugly incidents happening. Now, I think the school, to a large extent, as in the school where I taught then, they have these, because I was a teacher there before I got married, and they made sure that there was a teacher, at least one teacher in each of the corridors. We call it a corridor. I was in charge of SS2 corridor. Some other teachers, then there was a time we were 2, another time we were 3 on that corridor, to oversee the activities of the children. So I think for them to have done that in school, in their school, they must have done something like that whenever they travel abroad, because they always have teachers, somebody going with them. I've never gone with them. Even when we used to go and drop them in Lagos, I used to follow the school bus to Lagos then to drop the children whenever they are on holidays. Then when they are coming back, there's always a teacher in the school. So I think they must have put some measures in place there too. So that's why we didn't hear of any of such ugly incidents. So I think the school did not put in place any of such measure. That may be a possibility. Then, knowing children for whom they are, it's possible that there was a teacher, or there were some teachers in charge of those children wherever they were lodged. But you know, children of these days are smarter than we think. They must have outsmart, as in whatever. They must have done something to make sure that the teacher, maybe when the teacher was sleeping, you can't expect the teacher not to sleep. Though she may not sleep with both eyes closed, that means she may, at least sometimes she will get up, because that's what I was doing in Igbeneghu. Sometimes I would just get up. I was teaching in Igbeneghu Education Center. Sometimes I would just get up in the middle of the night and go around. You understand? I was even able to forestall some ugly incidents that would have happened because of those doors, those hostels. They didn't have doors. So there's no incidents of children locking the door to bar teachers from coming in, or okay, when teacher is coming in, they get to know because the teacher is trying to open the door and all of those stuff. So I think it's possible security measures were put in place. It's possible there were no security measures put in place. So then I also think that those children, they are from wealthy homes, and to a large extent, I don't know, let me not talk.
All right. That brings us to another question. How do you manage the children from the poor homes and those from the very rich homes in terms of their character?
Now, we have a standard in the school. Do you understand? There is no standard for people from poor homes. There is no standard. And we really don't have people from poor homes as such, but there is no standard. Whatever we do to one, we do to all others. We don't have favoritism. There is no favoritism. I don't say because you are not treated based on your parent status in the society. You are treated the same way. So.
Okay, have you experienced any case of an erratic parents coming to just overreact
in the school?
In the school?
Well, No, if we are going to be talking about maybe a case of whether a child was flogged or something, no. But there was an incident of a parent coming to shout at a staff. And what happened? The child was always coming to school. The child was in the crèche. The child was always coming to school with poo in her pampers. Every morning. Every morning. Now, I was not around. My staff spoke to the parents. I was like, please, I don't know. Can't you help us look into this pooing that this girl does every morning? Before, as in, it's not like she's saying she should not poo. But if the parents keep meeting poo in their pampers whenever they come to pick those children, they will complain and make it look like we are not doing our duties well. Even if it's once, some of them will complain, then some will not complain. So I think she was trying to say, please, it's not possible for this girl to just for it to be a mistake that this child is pooing every day. Please help us look into it. And the next thing, the woman just flared up and shouting and all of that. Me, I was in the hospital. I was pregnant then. So I was in the hospital for some time, so I wasn't around. It was later when I came back that they told me. Because of that, the lady she was saying all manner of things. How can you be talking to me? And me, I'm a PhD holder and all of that. What do you have and all of that? So I just see it as a matter of ego. That's what I just see it. It's not because the staff did anything wrong. Fine, what I told the staff was, in such situation, you should have told me. If I was the one that told the woman, I don't think she would have reacted the way she reacted. So.
Okay, I want to see the necessity for private schools because of the ineptitude of public schools. Will I be right to think so?
That private
because public schools are not forthcoming. That is what necessitated private schools.
Yes, to a large extent. I wouldn't want to take my child to a school where I won't get value for my money. Now, I used to say it that I can't teach in a public school because of the way they are. Now, one, not because of the children, but because of me. I should be motivated to be better than I came in. So that's why I can't teach in a public school. And if I cannot teach in a public school, I can't take my child to a public school. I don't know, government should do something. My friends abroad, most of their children attend public schools. So I think it's majorly because the schools are not forthcoming, the public schools are not forthcoming. But the truth is, some private schools are not doing better than those public schools. They are not. But I'm not in the right position to talk about them. I'm not a government official, neither am I an educational police or something. So.
Okay. Are you advocating that there should be better funding for education in Nigeria?
Yes, there should be. There should be. See, let me tell you something. The standard of education in Nigeria has fallen. It's not that it's falling. It has fallen, and it is because of, one of the reasons is because of inadequate funding. Another one is inadequate, exactly. Is it lack of or inadequate? Is lack of supervision. They don't supervise. The government officials don't supervise schools. Now, because of inadequate funding, the teachers tend to collect bribe. That's where you see a parent going to say, I want you to help my child pass this exam and all of those things. So that's one of them. Then another reason why standard of education in Nigeria is falling is because of poor standard of teaching, even in some private schools. That's why, because a child is expected to have known something at a particular level and the child doesn't know, the parents will be embarrassed. They want to use money to push the child to whatever level, but it still will show at the top. It will definitely show. Imagine me giving I was trying to get new teachers. And the questions I set for these teachers were primary 5, primary 4, primary 5, primary 6 questions. And someone that is supposed to have graduated could not solve these questions. It's appalling. It's because that person does not have a good standard, as in a good foundation. Not necessarily because the teacher went to a public school. My husband attended a public school and is brilliant. At least he graduated with a 2-1, not because he copied. No, my husband is a pastor to the core. So those are 3 main reasons. 1, inadequate funding. 2, lack of supervision in the schools. Then bad foundation, bad academic foundation. So
okay, there are schools where it is said that they buy exam questions for their pupils so that they can pass and pretend as if all is well with the school. What do you have to say on this?
It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. Very bad. That's exam malpractice. And those are some of the things that are also following the standard of education in Nigeria. If government doesn't look into this thing, it's going to crumble the educational standard in Nigeria. I, for one, will never do that. I will not do that for my pupils in the school. I will not do that for any of my children. My daughter, when she did her junior WAEC, the school promoted her on trial. And I told the school, see, I want her to go back to JSS1. The school was like, no, it's too far, it's too, for JSS1 is too much. Now she was supposed to be going to SS1. JSS1 is too much, this, that, and all of that. Fine, she wasn't staying with me, she was staying with my parents. I don't know. That's where I started seeing that it's not all schools, all private schools that should be called schools. She attended a private school there, but it is well. I don't know, I don't really want to talk about that, but if it was another parent, they will push her till she's supposed to have left secondary school. She's in SS1, SS2 now. They will push her till she gets there. They'll keep pushing her. I will never do that. I'm not helping that child if I do that. You are not anybody doing that is not helping the child. They are just collecting money to destroy the future of that child. So any teacher that is even involved in it, any school that is even involved in it, see, what goes around comes around. I heard a story of a teacher that a teacher that taught a nurse. This person later became a nurse in future. When she was in secondary school, I don't know, the teacher was helping her was assisting her in practicing exam malpractice and all of that. So the man took the mother to the hospital. She was not feeling fine. This nurse gave a wrong drug to the mother because she could not read the prescription. I don't know how she became a nurse in the first place. She ended up killing that mother because of that wrong prescription. Indirectly, as the teacher not gained from his bad behavior, bad practice. Do you understand? So what comes around goes around. Whoever is involved in all of these things, they should stop.
Okay. As an experienced educationist, what do you think government should put into the curriculum of the schools so that it can help the future of the children on leadership and the future of the country as a whole?
See, this Nigerian scheme of work, I don't know. It should be revamped. I don't know. But I know I'm going to be, should I say, castigated for this. But that scheme of work is old school. Now, it's not a question of what should be put in the scheme of work. If they have a vision, I have a vision of what I want every child that leaves this school to be like. I want them to be self-sufficient in whatever field that self-sufficient and God-sufficient. But they can't be self-sufficient if they've not been taught well. Now, I use Nigerian scheme of work because they are in Nigeria. They will do Nigerian examinations, some exams in Nigeria, alongside British scheme of British curriculum. Now, even with Nigerian and British curriculum, there are some things that I also put in the scheme of work that is in neither of these scheme of work, like the sex education. We start teaching the children sex education right from when they are in KG1, 2 years. How do we start with those ones? We teach them my head, my private part and public part, what they should do if anybody touches their private parts. And we tell them the names of those their private, even to penis and vagina that people shy away from. You understand? So the love and the love I have for the children and the vision I have for every child that leaves this school informs what I put into the scheme of work. So if the government have a vision, whoever is in charge of education, if they have, not only them, the governors and everybody, if they have a vision for education in Nigeria, what they will include into the scheme of work will not be difficult. It will the love they have for the children will inform what should be in the scheme of work. My other message to teachers, something I've noticed in our time now is teachers go into this profession because that's the most, the most available job that they find around, that they can easily pick, trying to, buy time for when they get a better job. Now that's one of the reasons a lot of teachers go into, not because they have passion for it, but because they just want to make ends meet. Now, if you want to be best at what you do, whether teaching or whatever, love what you are doing. If you love what you are doing, if you have passion for what you are doing, you won't be swayed with whether money or whatever. Fine, money is needed. I know definitely that money is needed, but let that not be the driving force. I have passion for teaching. I don't think I can do any other job. The only other job I think I can do is nursing. So it is that passion that helps me, and the fact that I have God that helps me to weather whatever storm that arises from this job I'm doing. So teachers should love their job. They should be passionate. They should have passion for their job. Praise the Lord.
Okay, is it true that there are teachers that are called to be teachers?
Called in the sense that, well, I can say maybe there are teachers that, yes, you can say there are teachers that are called, because there's no profession that God is not involved in. I can say I am called to be a teacher. I didn't go to any, I'm just trying to be trained in educational, okay, let me know at that. But I love this job because I feel God called me into it. Yes, I love the job. Not necessarily because God called me into it. The love for it, whatever you have love for, I think points you to the fact that this is where God wants you to do. Well, this is what God wants you to do. So, well, it's about the falling standard of education in Nigeria. My heart bleeds for education in Nigeria. It has fallen. The little that is left of the fall, you understand? We should all come together. Parents, teachers, the government, as school owners, should all come together to save the educational standard in Nigeria. One, the teachers, teach your children, teach your pupils, the pupils that are put in your place, teach them well. Teach the curriculum that if you don't understand, when I have a new teacher, what I do, I go to each of the classes to make sure that the teachers are doing what they're supposed to be to do. Imagine teachers being employed to teach, and what they come to class to do is watch television, as in on their phone, watch movies on their phone, leaving the children. That's because they know that nobody is supervising them. So school owners should do what they are supposed to do. They should have a good vision for the school. So I'm not after money, but I need money to run a world-class educational system. Do you understand? I know the money will come later, but we should not be after money. The school owners shouldn't be after money, teachers shouldn't be after money, parents shouldn't be after money. Fine, the parents should pay their school fees as and when due. Do you understand? Then parents should not. What is really nice, parents trying to dictate to the school. Parents should desist from that. They can give ideas. If they don't trust that school, I don't think they should take their children. Take your children to schools where you trust their judgments. So if you don't trust the school, don't take your child there, so that you won't need to be dictating, be telling them this is what you should do, this is not what you should do. A lot of parents take their children to schools because of the aesthetics of the school. Now the government, they should sit up and supervise and inspect where necessary. I don't want to say the things my eyes have seen, but they should be up and doing. The educational standard, the curriculum in Nigeria should be revamped. That's my major message for the educational and the government bodies. The scheme of work should be revamped. Do you understand? And they should please supervise and inspect and have the interest of the children at heart.
Okay, do you think the School Owners Association, do you think it is helping?
Yes, they help. They help with information, at least. They help with, well, I've not been involved in it since I think late last year. I have not been so involved in it, but at least to a large extent they help, but they can do better.
Thank you for talking to us.
Thank God.